33.
Hey guys, this is Rod Young. I've been in Miami for the last almost 2 weeks, and I'm living in Brickell, and I tend to go to the restaurants not too far from my hotel. It's a avenue called Brickell Avenue, and they have a lot of restaurants. So I've been going there back and forth. So over the last 2 weeks, I've been, pretty much taking the same route, walking. And ever since I've done that, there's one particular street corner that I go to. This corner right here, there's a bench. Usually at night, there's a bench there, and there's a homeless guy that's usually, in a chair right here. And he has a crown. He wears a crown. And I've seen him probably 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 different nights. So last night I decided to just, go ahead and get up the courage to come around this corner and talk to him. And he was right there in his outfit. And we had a conversation.
Right? So it's like, I've been homeless for 33 years. It took me 8 years to master homelessness.
How do you master homelessness?
Listen to me. First of all, by growing up in the winter. By growing up in a part of the winter and got to sleep on top of the snow and facing 0 below weather. Listen, just in a nutshell, because I'm still waking up. I'm 51 years old now.
Okay.
Homelessness, right? You got to discover what it's all about. And then you find yourself wanting something. You get a chance to see the way they see you. And then you get a chance to see yourself. And then we have a lot of stars out there, so you have to decide on whether you want to become a star or not.
Okay.
So this is what happens. When you realize that there's only 12 months in a year, the same 12 months keep coming back at you over and over again. That's how you master homelessness. When you master the year, you got to master everything. Okay? So there's only 12 months in a year.
So what's the difference between April and December?
Okay, well, let me do the year.
Okay.
Right? Because sometimes in order to see when you find your back against the wall, say for instance when you're down to your last $100, what do you do when you find your back against the wall? And you're right, starting off in December, right? But it can also start off in October. Now October is the month to start.
Okay.
Because of Halloween.
Gotcha.
Now if you can get your crown, your robe and your crown and your jewels before Christmas, right? That'd be great.
Okay.
Because what I did was, I grew up as the 3 kings, 3 wise men, right? So there was always 3 in me, right?
Gotcha.
So I took the Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the King, and joined all them guys together. When you join all 3 of them together, you look something like this, right? And so
I see the King, but I don't see Easter Bunny.
Easter going to be the purple. I used to have some ears, but a couple of weeks ago I woke up and my wings, my crown, and my ears was gone.
Gotcha.
Right? But the purple will represent the purple, and the white will represent Easter.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, but let me show you how to do it, because it can start off in October, right? And then November you got to wait till after Thanksgiving to get your Santa suit. The Santa suit they're releasing after Thanksgiving. So so you put on, but this is where I like to start to make sure it's right. Okay. Sometimes you got to start off in December with your last $100. And with your last $100, what would you do? You go to Party City. You get your Santa Claus suit, right? Okay. And then you go to Michael's or Joann's Fabric to get your jewels and your hot white glue gun. Okay. Okay. And you wear your suit for the whole month. See, a lot of people don't know that Santa Claus is a person that receives a lot of gifts. Right. Make some good money. It could be one of your bonus rounds in a year.
Okay, so.
But listen.
Oh man, okay,
that could be one of your bonus rounds in the year.
Okay.
As Santa Claus, right? And then you wear it for the whole 30 days, not just November the 24th or 25th. You even wear it all the way up to New Year's, so you can get your full effect of your suit.
Okay.
So that in January, after Christmas, you got to cut off all the red to your suit. But you got to keep all your whites that you have jeweled up. You keep all your whites.
For Easter?
No. You keep all your whites for January, because then January you might want to go to Party City and get your purple robe and your red robe and your crown.
Okay.
Because see, you must always add on to yourself.
Dang.
And one of the ways to do it is by being a part of all the holidays when they come.
Okay.
So you see, and then like when Easter comes, all you gotta do is get you some Easter ears and put it over your crown.
Okay, so you wear this all the time?
Yeah, I have to, because everybody, I'm growing up to be a wise gentleman, not a foolish man.
Right.
And it's rough out here now.
It's amazing. He's a homeless guy, and it's just amazing. And it's really tough to see, but at the same time, he said he mastered homelessness. He'd been on the streets for, I guess, 30 years. So I just need you to understand the perspective that I'm coming at. I'm coming at this from a perspective that every person on this planet has a purpose, and every person on this planet has value, no matter where you are, what position you are in life, or what station you're in life, or what your situation or condition is. Every person has value, and he basically explained to me he has value, and he explains how he defines his value. He's not an unhappy person. He's not a sad person. He basically, he's living his life.
The shelters ain't doing nothing for the homeless. Ain't nobody doing nothing for black poor people or poor people, period. But, you know, I see the world where I see it.
Right.
Like today, when the men's go for shopping, there's no clothes on the shelf for men's. They got them in sandals. They have stripping them guys. They have stripping everything from them guys. They can't go to school. We can't get food stamps, SSI.
So where you from?
That's not important, because wherever you're from, everybody is going through the same thing. The bottom line is what you're going through. We're all going through the same thing. That's not important. I told you I'm from the winter, okay. Right? Because, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years. These same questions are asked over and over again. I'm trying to set you up to where you don't really have to ask me anything, but you pay attention to your suit and how you're going to get yourself together. Okay. See, while you're trying to find out about me, while I open up the doors about me, I'm still trying to find out what I got to do with me.
I understand. But
see, I've been doing this for 25 years. Look how many friends I got. I ain't got none. Ain't nobody going to be brave enough to put on no crowns or no robes and things like this. I wear this stuff to give me an identity. We are homeless. You've seen how bad homeless people look and smell and act and all that stuff like that. And I'm black and I'm homeless, but I don't want to look like that. I don't want to act like that. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to be curious about me, be curious about yourself, how to bring yourself up. Okay. My job is to show you how to bring yourself up. Because, you know, at first, see, the police department says that everything that black men and women do is against the law. They said we do not serve or protect you or your kind. You understand? Right. But then when I started wearing crowns and robes, the police have a different attitude towards me. He said, because as long as you dress the same, you look the same to them. But when you start dressing differently and acting different, that's when you have an identity. You don't need no identification card to identify who you are. And so there ain't no need to asking me questions, because I'm still being raised by my elders. And right now I am sitting in a very, very special moment in time. And who all here with me? Only ain't nobody here but me. Okay. Right? I've been homeless for 33 years. It took me 8 years to master it. Right? And then the last 25 years of my homelessness have been absolutely amazing. Amazing. I'm the complimented gentleman. I'm in movies, commercials. You understand? I have an impact on people's lives. I've turned some things around, and it's real. You understand what I'm saying? See, I was raised with the gentlemen and with the kings. And that's more than the average man does in his lifetime. Yeah, because they started off wrong. You know, when you first start off your life, the first thing we do the wrong thing by doing drugs, alcohol, and women. Right. Right, but when you see that shit ain't working for you, like all you got to do is go to jail a couple of times. But I only had to serve time one time. Right. And I was 23 years old, and it was a drug case. The first boy was 16. They slaughtered him. They didn't arrest me, secondly. So I left. When I came back to Runner,
Okay.
they had to run it. He was 18. And when I returned, the first question they asked me, he says, how old are you? I was 23 years old. They said, you're going to jail. I went to jail because I was 23 years old.
Not because of what you
Not
did.
because of I didn't get, I wasn't involved in it.
Gotcha.
Right, but they had 88 nickel bags of cocaine, a gun, and a bullet. Those were the 3 charges.
Okay.
And the way they beat that 16-year-old boy up, they had to explain how they had to whip it, whatever the fact is. You
Gotcha.
understand? So it doesn't matter where you're from, because we're all going through the same thing. New
Right.
York is treating them people bad. You understand what I'm saying? Milwaukee, St. Paul, Minnesota. I have 14 cities that I'm welcome in and that I've lived in.
Okay.
Right?
Which ones are worse?
And it doesn't matter. All of them. Ain't none of them done no different. This is America.
They're all the same. All the same.
Ain't none of them no different. At first it started improving, but once when they became, at first we was nothing. But now we're something. And they took it and they used it against each other, ourselves.
And it was just a profound conversation. And I just kind of wanted to come back over here and just explain how I met him. And honestly, I do think that every conversation has a purpose. I've always believed that.
And so I try to give you guys something to share. So what it is let's give you your identity. And then the thing about the suit is that you can wash it, but you cannot dry the jewels, because the dryer would take the gloss off the jewels.
Gotcha.
And the suit will last for like a good 5 years. But now, because I've been doing it for so long, I'm doubling it up now. See, I'm 51. 10 years from now, I'll be 60. So as long as I turn my suit now, reversible. You see, every year on the year, you must add on to yourself. Every year.
Okay.
Every year. Because see, this stuff don't come with all this stuff. I put a lot of this stuff on, you see, because every year, if you can, you break yourself down and fix yourself back up. Don't let them be the only one tying you down.
That's a life lesson right there.
But this is a fact to me. But besides, there's a lot that come out of my mouth, because here go my latest release to the streets, right? Here go my latest. See, I'm a gentleman and I'm a king.
Yes, you are.
And so here go my latest to the gentlemen, to the fellas. It's like I'm trying to show these guys how to try to get more than one thing out of one thing. Give you an example, like an egg. An egg is one thing, right? You can scramble an egg, boil an egg, sunny side it up, turn it into an omelet, put it in a cake. I'm gonna stop at 5, okay? I'm gonna stop at 5.
All right.
Okay, and then you remember that TV game show program called Family Feud?
Yeah.
He can ask one question. There could be 5 or 6 answers on the board.
Right.
Ain't that right? Now, you remember the Rubik's Cube.
Mm-hmm.
The Rubik's Cube is one thing, and it has 6 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that right?
That's right.
And now, the jewels. Now, I can't take none of these jewels to the pawn shop and cash it in for no money, right?
Right.
But one of the ways to cash in on the jewels is by wearing them all.
You right.
You see, so my latest release is releasing 4 things. Because see, these guys, the women's are in charge. Take me. I've also been a president over student government, chairman over meetings, director over research. I have a lot of skills and talents.
I would think you do.
Because every year on the year we're supposed to graduate. You understand what I'm saying? Not in that school ain't teaching you nothing. Your best schooling is homelessness.
Gotcha.
Right?
Woo. Yeah.
Because you ain't got to read no books. You ain't got to take nobody for your word. You can see it for yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
That's deep.
And you got to forgive me, because sometimes when I start one conversation, I might switch to another one, because I had to grow up by myself, and my number in life is 7. So whenever I come up, have a creative thinking about one thing, 7 other things come to mind.
So here's what's interesting. He did not want to give me his name. He didn't want to tell me where he was from. Not because he didn't want to tell me. It's not that he refused to. He just said that it just doesn't matter. in terms of a conversation with anyone. So in that sense, it's not like he wants to remain anonymous. It's literally, he does not think names and addresses are just a social construct, so to speak. So they weren't important to him. I think he was of very, very high intelligence, because early on he told me, he said, I don't want to answer a question that I've answered 1,000 times. It frustrates me. So I'm just going to let you know that ahead of time. And of course, I'm asking him questions, and I could sense he was getting frustrated because, he'd answered some before. So I was kind of walking on eggshells because I didn't want to frustrate him to where he just says, get out of my personal space. But at the same time, I really wanted to hear everything he had to say about everything, because he has value. I mean, the words that he says come from a place of experience, and it's just, you can't dismiss, anyone. You can't dismiss anyone anyway, but he has some serious value, and I really wanted to hear everything he had to say. And I hope that you guys don't analyze this from a place of bias where you're trying to associate medical conditions, or you're trying to associate drug conditions or anything like that to what he says, because what he says is not, I don't think it's enhanced by anything. I think what he says is pure and genuine and from his heart. So I hope you hear what he's saying, and I hope that you can see the value that he has and the value that I see in him. And let me say this also, he recognizes the situation and the conditions that he finds himself in, but he's in a sense like a rose growing from the concrete. He has adapted to his environment, and he is doing the best he can, and probably in a sense he's probably more free as an individual than most of us are in our own daily lives. So it's just, you kind of got to give him respect for that. I don't know how many of us could actually be on the streets homeless for over 30 years and figure it out. I don't think, and still be here. And I know that's not a choice a lot of us want to even make, but at the same time, sometimes these choices aren't choices that we make. Sometimes these choices are the choices that we're dealt. And he has no regrets. He lives the way he lives. He does life the way he does life, and I respect him for that. And it's just, I hope that you guys can understand. I mean, homelessness by no means should be belittled. It is a tough situation. It is a tough thing to have to deal with. And he's not, I won't say he's making it look easy, because there's nothing easy about it. But what I am saying is he's like a rose growing out of the concrete. He's taking his environment and doing the best that he can with it. And that's something that a lot of people are not able to do, even when their lives are 10 times easier. So I have a lot of respect for this man, and this man has value. I may never know his name. I hope if you guys see this video, you know who he is. Maybe send me a comment. And I may never know his name, but I am profoundly appreciative of what he's given me and the knowledge that he's given me, and I'm just very thankful for that. And I'm gonna stop this video here. So if you like these videos, just like and subscribe, and I want to appreciate you guys listening.